Hey guys, welcome to a new video that we're gonna be talking about this new meta that I was big surprised that a lot of people were really angry about this specific meta, and why is because this meta is an spite meta. So the way this meta works is a little bit complicated. It's not the usual nuke meta that a lot of people is used, at least for the past 6 months. We had gotten a lot of metas that are very nuky, and yeah, this meta, however, is the opposite. Like, this meta is gonna be a really tough meta. It's not gonna be an easy one. It's not for everyone, as you can probably know right now, that a lot of people is struggling really hard on on doing some specific fights. Like, it's not an easy meta, and as you saw on the first video, like, I could give a lot of examples that, like, all the champions that we have, it doesn't mean that every single champion that you have, it's gonna work on every meta. Like, for example, we could say that Howard the Dog, he was so great on the last Crit Me meta because he was one of the few counters for Domino and for many other champions like Killmonger. And on this meta, he's not gonna work as good. He could you could do a couple fights with him, but he's not gonna be as good or as great with this meta because of the buffs that he gains. So, but we also have champions that, like Shatra, for example, that she was really bad on the last season, and on this meta with the Spite, she works perfectly. Like, she can control the power, as you saw on the first fight. She was great. She can control the fight really easy and can do a lot of fights. You also have this fight like Spider-Man Supreme that he just cheeses. Like, you just get like 15 charges and you just release your special one at it's over. Like, um, we could talk about more things. Like, the way this meta works is that you gotta control the opponent power with your special one. So, meaning that champions that are better or stronger by using their special one will benefit the most. Like, this is only taking into consideration that you don't have any buff immune champs. Like, like buff immune champions, it's gonna be the best, obviously. But champions like Hulk, Ham, Scorpion, Spider-Man Stark, as you can see on this video, the usual meta champions are just working. They work just fine. Like, as you saw on this fight, Spider-Man Stark works really great. He doesn't have any control power. Well, he has on his heavy attack, but he's very good. Like, look at this video on Shatra. She's great, man. She's so good. Like, yeah, this serpent has suicide's masteries, but it doesn't matter. Like, it wouldn't make any change at all. Like, maybe at maybe 5 seconds into the fight, but it's not as bad. Like, the usual champions are not gonna work. There's a couple new champions that are gonna shine on this meta, and Shatra is one of them. Scorpion, he's gonna be one of the best champions for this meta, and not because of the speed, because he's gonna be as fast, but he's gonna be really safe. Even though he's not a buff immune champion, he's gonna work great. I'm loving it. Like, I'm using Scorpion a lot, and I'm loving it that it's been like 5 or 6 seasons that we were not able to use him, and after like almost a year, man, almost a year of not using a Scorpion, having a season where you can use a Scorpion is so good. Like, I comes back to my head some memories using him and doing impressive fights. He's the goat, man. Also, we can also talk about the Fate Seal. Like, the way to control this fight is just to use specials, and obviously the champions that benefit the most on this specific meta is champions that use their special one and can control the fight that way. Why? Because every time that you use a special one, you're gonna apply a spite, a fate seal on the nodes. So the spite is gonna disappear. Like for example, on this fight against Dust, what I was just doing, I was just testing Kate Bishop versus Dust. Like Kate Bishop doesn't have any power ability, power control ability, but whenever you turn into their corner, the opponent, they gonna throw their special frequently, you know, like more often than usual. And let alone that, also the nodes, the SP1 BIOS and the SP2 BIOS, bro, those nodes make the difference on this meta. Like it makes even the AI behaves more aggressive on this meta because they are usually throwing a special over and over. Like I have seen a couple people that were saying online chats and on YouTube channels that they were always eating SP3s, you know, like, and I'm like, dude, yeah, of course you're gonna eat an SP3 if you don't use a power control champion or a champion that can benefit from the fate seal. And what I mean with that you have to use your specials so you apply the fate seal on the opponent and the spite stops. Yeah, there's a couple champions that for example, if the opponent puts up a mystic defender on defense and you don't have a buff immune champion, yeah, that's gonna be a really hard one, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna lose that fight. You can control the fight. Like for example, on this fight with Prowler against Havoc, he's not the best counter. It is a rank 3 Havoc, and even though he doesn't really have a great power control, he works very very well. You cannot apply Incinerate to a lot of champions because the room for your heavy attack is just really close, so he lacks a little bit of damage, but he is great. Like you're gonna end up your fights at 100% HP. On this fight, you can also see Mr. Negative with Black Cat. Like, yeah, Mr. Negative is not a defender, but he can be on this meta, you know, because every champion benefits from this fight, but it doesn't matter. Like, if you pay attention, close attention, I'm just trying to bait the specials, and it's working. Like, on different metas, like on Crit Me meta, whenever you wanted to bait an special or bait into the opponent to get an intercept, they were not playing with you, you know. On this meta, however, like, it's so easy to control the fight because of those two nodes that I have mentioned before. And dude, this fight that you guys gonna watch right now is one of my favorite fights that I have done so far. It's not the best, it's not the fastest as well, but the control I had on this fight, it was on my hands, you know. Like, I had the control on this fight. I knew what was Onslaught doing against me. Like, every single time I was trying to bait SP2, he was throwing it on the very first attempt. I was like, dude, no way. It's been like ages since Onslaught was throwing specials when I was trying to bait it. You know, like, it usually takes on a normal meta like 3, 4, 5, even 6 times trying to bait an special, and they don't throw it. And on this specific meta, bro, they throw it right away. Like, Onslaught, dude, look at that. He has used like three SP2s, like 2 SP1s, and every single time that I just dash back, he just throws this special. Like, it's so simple. This meta is a really good meta. I don't care what people say that this is a bad meta. Honestly, man, like, I don't know, man. I don't think they have played enough this meta to say that it is a bad meta. or they just simply they are just simple hating on this, you know, like they are just trying to make an excuse so they don't play, you know, like in my opinion this meta is way better than create me meta, and the simple reason is that you have the control on the fight. I don't care if people say, dude, I'm just eating SP3. Dude, I'm showing you like 15 fights here, and I'm not eating a single SP3, a single one. Yeah, you can say that you are using perfect counters. Not really, man. There's a couple fights here on this video that I'm showing that are far from being an ideal counter, you know, like on this fight against Kindred, he was just throwing special ones over and over that I just had 14 charges for his infection. Like I didn't care about the root because I was sure he was not getting the the stupid infection on me, man. Like that's why I'm saying Scorpion is one of the more reliable champions and one of the safest options. Like, look at this fight. He's a man-thing, rank 3 man-thing, one of the toughest champions that a lot of people is claiming that he's gonna be because all the placebos gonna fit the MD, and this is a great example, man. Like a lot of people are saying, if you don't have a buff immune champion, the champion he's just gonna kill you with an SP3. Well, let me tell you, you can force an SP3, like right here. Look at that. I throw my relic, I do a 4-hit combo, and then SP2. What's the strategy here, man? Yes, I'm gonna eat a freaking SP3. I will, for sure. But guess what? I don't care, man. Like, Scorpion is so good that he's gonna heal back all his HP. Like, yeah, I lost 50% HP. Yeah, because it's a rank 3 against a rank 6 Scorpion. But guess what? Another SP2. I'm gonna refresh all my ruptures. I'm gonna do a heavy attack, and remember, depending on the debuff applied on the enemy, single debuffs, is the way you're gonna heal back with the Scorpion. So look at that, man. Look at how I was 50% HP into almost 100 HP, 100%. Dude, I don't know what else to say, honestly, guys. Like, I wish I could have recorded more fights that I did during this last day and today. And look at this. Also, there's a lot of people that are saying that Penny Parker is gonna be mean, like one of the strongest defenders. Yeah, I also have a couple counters for her because she's gonna be painful, you know. But there's a couple champions, like for example Spider-Man Stark. You're watching this fight, you can control the fight, and if she uses SP1 or SP2, Spider-Man Stark, it's gonna evade, man. He's so good, man. Look at that. He just triggered on face one time, and yeah, he doesn't care. Like, you can turn off Penny Parker's shield so quickly with Stark because he's gonna have a lot of charges. So yeah, that's a normal Starky fight, man. That's a normal one. And look at it. This is one of my favorite fights. Sasquatch against Nick Fury. Sasquatch, he doesn't control any power, but he can power drain the enemy when he's on Rat, and he uses his special. So look at this, man. He's gonna throw the SP2 whenever I'm trying to bait him. On the second try, he did it, and then I'm gonna fully evade this, because it's way easier to evade Nick Fury special one. I don't usually do it because it's a little bit risky, because you have to do 3 decks. However, it is doable, you know. Like, it was not as doable before with the 30 FPS, but 60 FPS, it's doable. What I usually do is 2 evades only, and I just block 2 hits. It's way safer. But look at that, man. Look at how safe Sasquatch can be, man. He's gonna throw SP1 into my block, man. And you know what? I'm happy for that. Like, I don't care. Like, on every other meta, I would be like, bro, why you why you use your SP1? You shoot them because I'm blocking. Who cares, man? SP1 bias and SP2 bias is one of the best things that was added to this meta, man. And look at that, man. it is not a fast fight, but it was a good one. And yeah, look at that fight. I'm not an Red Guardian specialist, but yeah, the timers I do, man, like almost ever I finish at 100% HP, and there's a couple nuke fights, and there's a lot of normal fights like 60 seconds, 70 seconds, even 100 seconds. Those fights are still doable and winnable, you know, because there's a few champions that are gonna be painful on this meta, and honestly there's only one champion that I'm gonna be banning, and maybe this put me on disadvantage because you know, as you guys know, I usually always push BG season, and the only champion that is bullshit is Bullseye, man. He's the only champion that you should ban, because he only has a few counters like Weapon X, and any other than that he doesn't have. Like, so yeah, guys, I'm sorry for my English. I don't know if you ended up understanding anything. Yeah, man. Like I said, if anything, man, like the only reason to boycott BGs right now, today, and I think everyone would agree with this statement, is the lack of rewards that you get on Gladiator circuit for ranking on any position, like either Celestial or Uru. The rewards just simple suck. Like, they are just bad. Other than that, this meta, man, I don't know what people are thinking. I don't know what you are thinking. Let me know on the comments. But in my opinion, this meta is not the worst. It's by far better than Crit Me meta. Change my mind. See you guys later. Bye bye.